Well, a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, depending on where you're at in the world. Nathan Garrett here, Zwift Community Live with the Zwift Racing League. I get Dave Toll next to me, and it's the WTRL Zwift Racing League Season 3, Race Number 2. This is the fourth broadcast of today, the final one, America's West. We're out on the Beach Island Loop for 3 laps. It's a sprint series. It's a sprint race out there today, 4 points. Everybody gets to accumulate points on each sprint section, as well as a whole lot of points across the finish line. It's a team points race. And this has definitely been a course that has, and that's been the theme of the day, surprised everybody for sure, Dave. Dave, I'm going to go ahead and bring this graphic right on up from the get-go. And, Premier Division as well, actually 5 different broadcasts, including Premier Division, 4 across the community. And in each and every one of them, things have gotten completely splintered. Totally not a sprinter's delight. It has not been a large group to the line.
I think this will go down as the best day of racing that we've had in the history of the ZRL. The other one that really stood out was that Richmond KOM after party. But let's take a look at the course here. Again, 38K of racing, make it more 39 over 3 laps out here. They just went past that orange box where the sprints will be happening. Those are scored 10 deep, and they are pivotal. Everything hinges on how those sprints go, especially with the smaller fields that we've got. It's going to be really, really fun to watch. What we're going to find out today is, well, these teams are well matched, Nathan. They've got a lot to work with out here tactically. We were talking about that before the show, that this course serves up a perfect palette for aggressive racing. And you can see here from the course profile that a lot of times they'll say, oh, well, it's nowhere near as hard as that looks. Well, this is deceivingly simple. You see that sprint point there, Nathan? Let's talk about what happens before, or maybe even more important, what happens right after that sprint with the downhill that you see there.
Yeah, I just want to speak to that opening. There is a little bit of a climb into the before the Essies, but they don't hit the Essies. They head on over to the volcano, and that's that flat section about, I would say 2.5K in or so. And then the downhill, right, at that 2.5K over toward the beach section. And then they head uphill through some dirt, and they do have the steamroller power up on it. Because of that, that uphill section has been proving to be very, very crucial, splintering the group. And then after it splinters, they go directly into a sprint. And then there's another 3% uphill grind after a sprint. Counterattacks have been going into a lot of speed on that downhill. We've been seeing 50 to 55 kilometers per hour through that downhill into Ocean Boulevard. And then another dirt section through the marina into a downhill. That has also caused a little bit of mayhem as well. So very difficult course because the racers have a lot of opportunity to break things apart. And that has been a lot of times with Zwift Racing amongst the riders. One of the main things that I would say that a lot of riders are always looking for is the opportunity to really allow their efforts to be shown in the race, to be like, well, I put all this out and nothing really happened. Well, the blob effect, maybe a little bit of the reality that the peloton and the drafting dynamics have changed a little bit, but also the reality of this course matched with that has made this day of racing one of the most dynamic ones, one of the most aggressive ones we've seen in quite a while, and a lot of rewards being put out there for the riders for putting the efforts down. So it's been really fun to watch out there. The women are jumping out on courses, America's West for the men's Division 1, as well as the women's Division 1. We are covering Division 1 this week simply because last week across EMEA as well as the Americas, we had to cancel broadcasts. We're going to make sure we get those in, and then we'll go ahead and jump on into the Division 2s if there are races to be happening in Division 2s across all of the regions. But let's go ahead and jump on down for the women. They're out on course, and it does look like we've got a heated battle already with SDBC now making the way to the front in the red kit here, Dave.
Just like this course, Nathan, has become very popular immediately. The steamroller power-up has become quite popular. It's getting memes and shout-outs on Facebook, and it's an impact power-up. It makes the burrito look laughable, to tell you the truth. Shannon Castle. Nathan, here's a name I know well from racing in Southern California. Shannon rides for the San Diego Bicycle Club, but lives in Fresno and is a surgeon there. So another one of those, we've talked about how this Zwift racing has been great for moms and dads, for folks that are busy. Well, if you're a surgeon, right, criterium racing, a crash where you break your hand and are out for 6 months, that has a huge impact on your patience, your income, a lot of things. So being able to race on Zwift is awesome for people, and obviously tough hours as well. But Shannon Castle, I'm glad you found her. That's extremely cool. This is the first time that I've seen her out racing on Zwift, but she's an awesome person in real life, a very strong master racer, and so expect her to be strong out here.
I'm always loving these background stories you bring in, Dave, from all the experience and long time of bike racing, traveling the country all over the place. And I'll click on a name. This happens, especially in the Americas. I've noticed it happens all the time where I'll be in, and there is a reality that a lot of times we're in with the A category, and you're like, hey, this person, hey, this is this person.
I know him.
It's a small. Well, I mean, it's a small world. There's a lot of cyclists in the world, but at the same time, there's only so much, degrees of separation. And you click on one rider, and bam, here's a whole story that comes out from a huge, a lot of times, a lot of depth of racing over a lifetime. You end up running into a lot of people and getting to know a huge community of cyclists. So it's great to see all of the stories that you bring to the table here, Dave.
Thanks,
always
Dave.
Here. Walker now,
Well,
also
you're my
SDBC. Nadler? What's that, Dave?
But to the mountain bike world, you've been such a valuable friend. There is no doubt about it. So yeah, San Diego Bicycle Club, that's the SDBC, and I think that's Esther Walker that we're talking about. Let me make sure.
It is.
Yeah, there
Esther
you go.
Walker.
Another. So this is a team. There are some bike clubs in America, like the Reno Wheelmen, that have a history that goes back more than 130 years. If you think about it, the bicycle it's only about 150 years old, the bicycle itself. When's the first time you saw a smart trainer? Are smart trainers even 10 years old at this point? They must
20,
be very
I want to
close.
say 20. Well, I mean, prior to
when did
Zwift,
Bluetooth?
People were on the I can't remember the name of the thing now. We used to ride
CompuTrainer,
it was a lot of triathlon.
right?
CompuTrainer. Thank you so much. They were on the CompuTrainers prior to Zwift. So I think that was the first real go at a smart trainer.
Although, weren't you using a regular? I actually never CompuTrained, even though I worked with them for a long time.
It did give you the gradients. It was
life.
like the big thing. If you got a CompuTrainer, you were able to have the gradients of the course. You go ride the course.
Cool.
A lot of the Ironman, especially Ironman racers who couldn't, get to the course and practice it, they'd be like, well, I want to go and race or at least practice my efforts. So I remember hanging out at some indoor training sessions with a lot of triathletes, actually. No, different mindset and world than mine, that was for sure. But I would get in with them because it would be a solid base training ride. That's for, it'd be fun to get in on those. But I think that would be, a little off topic, but definitely ComTrainer was the first one there, I think. As we run down the bunny hole or the bunny trail here of all the different dynamics of cycling. But I mean, the point being though, right, is you're right. There's a long history of a young sport in a lot of ways, and very young comparatively to some of the other sports that are out there as far as its development. Because I would say that, especially in the Americas, you're looking at 70s, 80s, whereas this tradition is a lot older in other parts of the world.
Yeah, great. I think it's fascinating. You could use this analogy. And again, we have 38K of racing. First sprint comes up in a few K. So as they roll along as a group, it's nice to be able to just chat here. As you can see, Velocity Vixen won the team time trial last week. Audi Women, that's a team out of Seattle, and they were second. This aforementioned San Diego Bicycle Club was third. And we've got Revo Scores looking kind of making their debut, but I don't know that I see them here. Oh, well, they have Anna Rogers, who's a one-woman.
I wonder if
team.
Rogers, she may be guest riding though for Vixen, because a lot of times she does guest ride for Vixen. She needs to swap her kit though, as we are having those new requirements. But Crone now to the front looks like for Vixen. This is going to be the section that we really need to be watching out for. This is where the pressure points do come on for the racers as they make their way over the top of this climb. This is what we were talking about, the dirt section. There it is, steamroller. Maybe just to hang on here from Hayes, or is that going to be D, I believe? Gillick now on a little bit of a kick up in that 6 watts per kilogram. Who's making that steamroller? Look at how incredibly powerful the steamroller is. Immediately, DD goes to the front.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, you see rockets scoot forward like a scalded cat, as they say. I mean, almost immediately, it seems like you're going 3-4 kilometers an hour per hour faster, which is definitely no. Look at this now, starting to open up a few different gaps out here. This, oh, it's getting gritty at the back. There's a few riders who are going to be really fighting here. Aggressive first 6K of racing as they make
It's a
their way
3
by
second gap
that
already.
beautiful. Yeah, this is okay. Well, this course does not disappoint. I am in love with the Beach Island Loop. And here we go. This is a whole new storyline, Nathan. We haven't seen this one yet. But so this is going to be Crone attacking right now. That's Darlene Crone of the Velocity Vixen team. Darlene is now, I mean, this is serious. This is concerning if I'm back in that group, how she just rides away. So the first sprint comes up in a couple K here. Is she making a
they're
play to
actually
pick
into
up
it here.
10
They're
points?
actually right on into it here. 200 meters,
already?
not
I'm
even.
sorry.
Yeah. Hold that here now. Then D now. Open over the top. It looks like ND, maybe Walker. No, it's going to be Haley Gill. Always a very strong rider for the Vixen team. Going to be trying to round out the podium. ND maybe coming across. Nip at the line. She does
Got
it.
her.
Second there. It's going to be Crone for third. But Gill, what a kick there coming in from her from the Velocity Vixen. This
Claire
speed now
Law
through
got up
this
there.
section. Law, solid from her. SDBC involved. Now we got 3 different teams all involved at the front. Velocity Vixen, though, looking to try and control things. SDBC there as well, it looks like, with Hayes gluing it together a little bit. Troyer now going across as well out of Canada. Law is still there. D. Whitaker, though, off the back. This is going to be the chase. And I think they have given up the ghost at this point, as I think D is going to have to just close this down. I think she's going to make it, and then we're going to have a lead group of 10 riders off the front.
Well, and we'll see who can chase back into this group here. It's going to be rough. Again, not a large, there's a good quality group of riders that take the start here, but it's not a huge peloton. So they get right down to brass tacks very quickly out here. So we can start taking some inventory up in this front group now, Nathan.
I'm wondering.
Looks like Claire Law
bike
made it.
selection here. She's got the Trekomanda. Are those Mellensteins on there? I don't believe so. But interesting bike setup, as these are probably not very fast wheel setup here coming for D. It's going to be, I believe, Deidre Douglas for the Vixens. Trying to get back on terms with the front end of this bike race. I think it's going to go out from her at this point, though. She almost closed it down, but it was just, for her, it was a race of probably 10 meters. It was just an extra 5 meters to close down at that point, and nope, going backwards now. And there is the Sahara Desert between her and the rest of that group. It's a rider. It's 9 riders now off the front. Velocity Vixen versus that SDBC San Diego Bike Club. And there are these 2 riders in the lava kits, though. Is that going to be Audi that's using the lava kits? It is.
It is. Yeah, that is the team. Natika is one of the riders there. The Thai flag that you see there, ND. Super strong rider and does a really great job of representing that Audi team. They have a good spirit, esprit de corps, as they say on that squad. I love what they're doing. So, well, all right, Claire Law up there as well. Anna Rogers has made this move, the Canadian who's absolutely one of the strongest riders racing in this group. Always a danger woman.
Coming on through. I do see
Crone
a
really
little
lit the
bit.
fuse.
Oh yeah, definitely hugely lit the fuse, and amazing kick from her, and now able to hang on. It was looked for a moment there like she might have put herself into the hurt locker, maybe off the back, but she was able to hang on. We are seeing the chat coming on through. Megan Bradbury cheering on Bradbury in game. Always love the chat as it comes through. Make sure to go ahead and leave a comment. We'll make sure to anything that is pertinent or anybody that you're cheering on, we'll try and bring in some integration into the broadcast here wherever it is pertinent. So thanks a lot for everybody tuning in. And we are watching chat. We will take questions as we can during the little bit of downtime between the sprints or attacks out there. It is 3 minutes to start of the men's race. We do see here one of the Audi women now. A little bit of a kick coming from her with that steamroller. I believe that is going to be
It's
Law.
Natika, isn't it?
Is it Natika? Yeah, you're right. It is
might
Natika.
be.
Good call.
Yep. Good work out here. They're not going to make this an easy ride, that's for sure. As you see, I have to get used to that purple steamroller, and again, highly effective here. As you can see, our friend out of Seattle, Natika, here using that and comfortably kind of rolling off the front right now. This is not a planned attack. I have a feeling that we're going to see this group just kind of feeling things out for a little bit, maybe Nathan, up until the next sprint. Haley Gill, such a dangerous rider there for Velocity Vixen. Real talent. Another one of the riders, Nathan, that would fit right in the Premier League with her ability level.
The men's race about to take off. I am seeing a whole lot of chatter actually coming in from them. I always like the men's America's West, definitely a crew that knows each other. I kind of like that about them. We are seeing Tim Rush as well as Monks is in here. I'm loving that we've got the
without even looking, I bet you my man Michael Sweet has been chiming in.
That's a good. Where is the Sweet?
I hope he is.
Where
it wouldn't be the same without him.
It would not be the same whatsoever without the couple that cycles together. They scream at each other in their pain cave between America's East and America's West. It's always absolutely awesome to see them on the social medias, the videos that they're posting. Ryan McGee's also out there who helps DS the women's side of Obscure Finesse. He's saying that I'm sure the Coyote can find you one from Acme. As they're making jokes about Roadrunner and the Coyote chasing out there today. So always lots of jokes with the America's West boys. Loving it. Oh, Cam O'Reilly is showing up from AVERT as well. So watch out on the men's side of things.
Alto Velo is a really strong team, and they're a good example of what you're just talking about, Nathan. There's a really good vibe with the men and the women in, I don't know if it is maybe the relaxed West Coast of North America. It's a great place to live, that's for sure.
Just so you know, there's our segment points not coming through, but
if you need them, you know they're there.
Here's the start of the men's race. Well, they're not there. That was the thing. So, but there's a blank board with the segment points, and to go right along with a little bit of the jokes coming on in from America's West, there's the joke with the board as well. So now we're going to make our way to forward, though. AVRT, Dirt Riot is in here. I think Dirt Riot had a really good race last week. I'm seeing Ryan Ivany. I've been racing with him quite a bit. Very strong rider. Tony Pletcher from OTR is in here as well. Very, very Pletcher, super, super strong rider as well from the OTR crew. Watch out. I think that this is going to be all mayhem because these are some serious, serious competitions between them. They have a lot of fun chatting with each other, but once they're out on the road, it gets wild, that's for sure. It is Dirty Rascals Riot and On the Rivet Haze. That's a battle that also plays out on Thursday nights. Just so you know, I'm actually a part of that battle a lot of times.
I am just realizing, too, what the Monks family is all about. As we have Lars Monks racing now, but they must race in the East and the West so that they can support each other, or it'd be a little bit rough to be having in the same room, having someone racing the men's race and someone else racing the women's race at the same time. At least you can split it up in a block of time. But love the Monks. Super, super strong couple. That's the Abscape men's team, Abscape Finesse.
Yep, Abscape Finesse. They do have Monks. And I think interesting enough, they also are naming themselves Fred AF. You can
Fred AF. I just saw that with the penguin head next to it. Right?
Of course. Yep.
Yeah, of course. I had a question for you, Nathan. There was a team that's entire name was emojis in the women's race. I'm going to see if you know who that is a little bit later.
I missed that one. I actually I didn't pick up on that one. That's a great pickup there. What are they going to? Is it the herd? Is it herd? Nothing but animals?
It was. That explains it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll go back and find it, but you're right. That's what it was, though. That would make sense. I don't know that there's an emoji for herd, but you sort of have to read that into it. Big group here as these guys make their way out on course. Again, 38K of racing, 3 sprints, scored 10 deep, 10 points for the first rider over the line. These sprints are pivotal. So much is really the races are won and lost out there. It makes it for a much more interesting race, that's for sure. Looks like Dirty Rascals Riot came in as our team time trial winners with On the Rivet Hayes second, Penn Velo third, Alto Velo, Zeante in fourth. Oh my God, they killed Kenny, finished fifth. As you can see, our top 10 from last week.
I did see Earman Sweet in here for AVRT. It looks like so he has made
My
the
man.
race, and he's getting screamed at to stay in the pack most likely at
You
this
can
point,
count
not
on
to
it.
give it a bit of go. But in just a moment, there's going to be a whole lot of Metter hang on to the group because over and over again we have seen in America's East as well as in EMEA it whittled down to somewhere between 30 and 50 riders immediately on the first kick. There's a little less riders, I think, in this pack. I'm guessing we're going to see somewhere around 35, maybe 40 making that front group. That's be my guess, depending on how hard they go up and over the top here. Unless they just look at each other a little bit, we'll have to wait and see. But Mog to the front.
They
my God,
haven't though. You know what I mean? Like you're absolutely correct, but the way that they've been racing on this course, unless this one is different, which it certainly has every right and possibility to be, but somehow this course brings out the best. I'm going to go with your latter or former statement saying that it's going to be about 20 riders that make the group that goes to the line.
Ooh,
Let's say 20 riders in the group that's together at 2K to go. That's a good way to put it.
I'd be watching out for Cam O'Reilly. I think he's got some good fitness. We saw him in season
he's a stud.
2. Yeah, be on the watch out for him. I think they're going to be marking him on the day. AVRT are going to want to make some things happen because they did not have the best TTT. And you know what's interesting? It goes to show showing up to Thursday's W2RL TTT is huge for knowing what you're doing because I'm not sure on paper that Dirty Rascals Riot and OTR are the strongest team out here, but they definitely know what they're doing to go ahead and take 1-2 in a TTT.
Yeah, if you want to win the season in ZRL, you have to be participating in Thursdays to hone your craft because the 3 team time trials are where the league is won and lost. I mean, you are so exposed out there, and a couple 8th, 10th place finishes, and you're not going to win the league. Although it's a little more wide open these days at every single level, and it speaks to the tweaks that have been made, and especially the bonus points that have been added. It's been absolutely brilliant to see how the league has developed out here. But yeah, you can even see right now that the sweet spot of the group is not 5 meters off the back, as these guys are going to close this gap down as they realize that.
This is going to be the Freds.
That's the anti-sweet spot.
Ryan McGee, we've heard his voice before as DSing the women's team from Obsway Finesse. Very calm rider, and he's keeping it pretty calm on the back here at 156. He's not panicking one bit.
Chill.
Very chill. Yeah. He even saw a little bit of a gap there. 157, not a whole lot of watts. He's playing it really smart.
He just took a sip of Fresca. This guy's...
We'll see how this plays out, though, in just a moment. Here comes Costa Rica now. It is going to be Morera now trying to ramp it up. Here comes Hinsmarsh. And arrow power-ups already. Wow. Rider suffering or maybe making very interesting uses of power-ups already. Dirt off the front, it looks like. That's going to be Dirty Rascals. We'll see if we can jump in with whoever it is that is. Monk's here making a move to try and make his way through. 42nd, 43rd. A lot of times I would just sit in amongst the pack, but the way things break up on this course, it's dangerous. You got to move forward.
You got to be sitting in the first third of the pack, I think, if you want to, relax at all. Don't go further back than. There we go, Michael. Michael Sweet here, dropping a power up like a boss right now, and this is a legit move here. Let's see what this does. First sprint, not that far off, and oh man. This man is going ballistic right now. You can see some guys, 2 gaps opening up back through the field, Nathan. So when it goes like this at the front, there's always going to be guys paying a price at the back of the group.
Here comes, oh my God, they kill Kenny, and they're about to kill Kenny in the sprint, it looks like. Bradbury, though, OMG is there as well. Here comes Penn Velo. Eugene Chan, always good to see him. Now with an arrow power up, will he be able to hang on through the sprint? But Cam O'Reilly, we said to be watching out for him. He's coming through as well. O'Reilly, 10.9. AVRT, I think it's a little bit late. I think Jimenez there from Costa Rica, he's going to be able to hold on. No, it's actually going to be AVRT. Cam! Oh my gosh, he just pulled it off ahead of the, oh my God, close Kenny. Heinlein was there. I'm not sure which one. We'll have to wait for the points coming through. I think Cam had it. I can take a look at the replay.
If you're talking about the image, definitely Cam had it. We'll see what the back end API says. That was John Heinlein. I agree with your call, Nathan, 100%. We'll see if that turns out to be the case here. Either way, 9-10 points. This is Jimenez that we're in with right there. Finishes, I think, third or fourth. There's definitely Cam there, but we'll see if that's the way the computer's API sees it.
Yeah, good call. Good call there. As Cam, I mean, he just, the timing, perfect timing across the line. Well, look at Heinlein.
Oh,
look at that.
Clear.
I wonder.
It's really close, but I still, yeah. Wow. Well, this is what a photo finish is. That's for sure.
Right to the line. Heinlein's coming on strong. And it's
weird though. That angle is weird. See,
the angle. It is the angle.
We're not right on the line.
No, we're not. Yeah. It is the angle. You're right. And I do think Heinlein hit it with the wheel first. Nice job to him.
That's about a tie.
On the right hand,
that's a tie.
Now look at the watts per kilogram too. I want to speak to that. I know I'm getting a little geeky here with Zwift, but I mean, look at how Heinlein. Look at how he pulled 11, and because of the way he drafted through there, it was his speed that actually brought him through. Did Heinlein have a drafting power up even? I mean, that's amazing. Whew.
It's funny, and you could see how
Cam then came over the top
afterward. Cam isn't sitting on
the. It's so close. I still don't know.
I'm calling it a tie. I just said tie. They don't have
illegal. That's illegal.
That won't work.
You're not allowed to.
You get 9.5 points. Okay. So, well, that speaks to what a great day of racing it's been. A photo finish for the 10-point bonus.
Already happening. You might have been. Look at this, 29. I was like, that sounds like too little, but.
And we're not done. And
no,
we're only just past the first
Look at this,
sprint.
man. He's probably streaming over on Twitch, suffering. You want to see somebody absolutely in the pain cave? Head on over to twitch.tv. Look for Kellison, because Penn Velo right now is trying to shut things back down. Oh, my gosh.
And he's going to. If he can get some help here, they can rejoin. It might be just these. No, more than that. Wow. They're going to come back, Nathan. Super effort here. That's how you fight back from the dead.
I'm going to jump out as we are about to head on into the next sprint for the ladies. Let's go ahead and see how things. This is going to glue back together. Maybe see a counter in a moment. I'm just going to, 1 second here, see if maybe that front group starts throwing down some of their. Interesting that they're saving. There's got to be some. There it is. Callison, McLeod. Going to be. Who's going off the front here? That's going to be KDV from Musette HB. Coming across with the steamroller. That's going to glue it all back together. So making it happen. Back in with the ladies. Let's go ahead and take a look at how things are playing out for their current standings on the sprints for the ladies here at this point. Natika from the Audis. Esther Walker, SDBC. It's going to also be Rachel Hayes. Barrel Paulette there. Wow. SDBC, San Diego Bike Club. They are having a good day, it looks like. Really stacking the points up.
How about that, though? Picking up that fastest through segment for Natika. She is in fuego out here today. So you can't do better than that at this point.
Dave, real quickly, I mean, that's going to be huge for Audi women. Look at that. Look at, I mean, as well as SDBC. Because Velocity Vixen, they stacked it with the team time trial. Troyer is off the front, though. They're going to have to make something happen, and they're doing exactly that. Here comes Troyer. 7.6 watts per kilogram coming from her. And it looks like she's got a solid. That's all with this 5 seconds immediately. Wow.
Well, this is going to be a great season-long battle for sure amongst these three very competitive teams out here. But picking up Troyer now, and this is a rider that I would not mess around with at all. And look at what is happening now. Oh my goodness. It is every woman for herself right now. Nathan, I don't know. The largest group might be 3 at this point, as Pamela Troyer has just destroyed that front group, and she is now soldiering on 20K of racing remaining, and it is every woman for herself. So this is going to be Esther Walker now trying to get up on that wheel here. Esther is a fighter. The San Diego Bicycle Club rider is going to join Troyer here. Nathan, what a dramatic turn of events we've seen just over the last 2K, and it looks like we've got a couple more riders. No surprise, the Canadian Anna Rogers is going to get up there, and then another teammate there for the SDBC. Hayes trying to join Crone, who was so strong earlier, is now trying to rejoin the conversation. We got ourselves a jailbreak here at the midpoint, just through the middle half of the race right now.
Mr. Walker
Troyer
coming
for
across
10
for
points.
second. Troyer solid there. Rogers is going to nip it at the line. No, I think maybe Hayes nipped it at the line. We'll have to wait and see. Rogers know what the continuance. Look at the speed coming through. They really went for that sprint, but some of these ladies, they were saving a little bit of something to try and battle it out before they hit the line. They carried some speed on through, and they're going to end up coming right on through this section with a whole lot of 45 kilometers per hour right now. 6 seconds back. Oh, that is
This
unexpected.
comes back together.
This is not what I was expecting from Natika, from Audi Racing, out of the conversation now. And now, is there any more Audi Racing riders here? I think they've all been dropped at this point.
Oh, my goodness.
Claire Law
Well,
out of it as well. So Audi now going to have to settle for 8th and 9th. No women's land. Maybe they can get together and start working together to hold off Jay Whitaker and the rest here, because they're in threat of being caught by that chase group because of this.
Yeah, that's hugely disappointing for the Audi women, as I thought that they were on a day where they were going to really challenge to try to move into a tie for the overall lead, but they'll be back and fighting, and this one's not over now, but boy, this is a surprise. Now, she picked up a lot of points early, and those points will all still count, talking about Natika, but we're back in now with the Canadian Claire Law here on the Audi team. But, oh boy, it has been so tough on the front. And that group now, I think we're looking at 7, 8 riders. I imagine will come back together. I don't think that Troyer wants to. There you go. So we'll hit a reset button here. And that is 7 in the front group.
Yeah, and I believe this is a 4v3 situation. I do believe Anna Rogers is riding for Velocity Vixen. I'm not absolutely positive, but I didn't see any other Revo ladies out there today. So my assumption is that she's jumping in with Velocity Vixen. She does guest ride a lot of times. We do need maybe an update on that. But Troyer, Gill, Rogers, and I believe it's going to be Crone. That's the situation versus the SDBC ladies there. It's going to be Esther Walker, Vera Palat, as well as Catherine. Is that Catherine Nadler? Has she made this front group as well? I'm looking through here.
It was Hayes that was the other rider
good call,
up there,
good
I
call
believe.
there, Dave. Yeah, but you're correct. 100% correct. Rachel Hayes. Rachel Hayes has made that group as well. So take a look through. Rachel Hayes, not a name that I'm super familiar with. And Rachel, 3.3 watts kilogram, currently 154. Looks fairly calm. Look at the RPM. 55 RPM. Either really grinding or just really calm at this point. Not really under any kind of pressure. Level 24 Zwifter. 12 races out on Zwift. And she only got on Zwift Power recently at February 7th of 2021. So definitely a newer rider to this team.
The San Diego Bicycle Club clearly did some recruiting amongst there must have been, because Shannon Castle as well is just kind of getting out here and getting up to speed. So that's really cool to see that they are motivating their friends and club members to get out and race on their Zwift team as well. I say that Shannon Castle's a level 33 Zwifter. That's kind of right down the middle. That's not tremendously experienced. We have plenty of level 50s, which is I would even wonder, it stops at 50 right now, but there are some riders that have ridden a couple 100,000 kilometers out on Zwift that race with us. What is the flag for Polat there?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll jump back in and see in just a second here. The men, I did see an attack. They're taking off as
We
they
get the
headed into
coolest
their first,
nationalities.
into their
Turkey,
second lap.
Nathan.
Is that what that is?
Turkey. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it
good call.
certainly
Yeah.
is.
And actually, speaking
It's
of
cool to
pull-out
see.
now, we just jumped over to the men's race real quick. There was an attack, but I wanted to jump over because Haley Gill, as they hit this section of the course, we talked
Oh,
about
oh.
this. And this section of course, because of that dirt, it slows the bikes down. So any kind of accelerations get a little bit of extra gaps opening up. Well, that goes across, it looks like. And this is danger zone as Crone sits in. Not going to chase. Velocity Vixen, they like to play some games here, it looks like. But the question now, you know, what do you get out of this situation?
Well, who chases?
Yeah,
Right.
because it's the
Well,
same. It's
exactly.
just the team. It's all the same teams.
Right. I mean, it's such a different dynamic out here. You really have to reset. Remembering now, okay, you'd say a two-rider breakaway with 22K to go. What kind of chance does that have? Well, the chase group is 5 riders, and each one of the riders up in the breakaway has teammates in this group. So, you know, what is you always wonder, just like an actor, what's your motivation? Right? What are you racing for? And right now, there's no real reason for anyone back here in this group to chase. There's only, even though it looks like you're seeing more than 2 teams, it's only 2 teams back in this group.
They're trying to put Velocity Vixen across now. I think that's what's happening here. Is Vixen wants to
There
get
goes
rid of
Troyer,
as many
right? So now you
SDBC
stack.
riders as they can.
It's interesting. So now they're trying to stack the odds in their favor, right?
Look,
Sending
Walker now
one
trying
rider
to
from
go
group to
across.
group,
This is fun. This
trying
is
to
great.
match. It's like a chess
I really
match.
like
It's piece
how
by
this
piece
is
by
playing
piece.
out here. Yeah, trying to see who's gonna break. They're trying to see who cannot come across. Esther Walker going to make it happen now. 166 beats per minute. Lots of fun happening.
If you
here
send
in
one, we
West.
send one, right? It's like World War One
Exactly.
here. It's that
Battleship.
simple. Yeah, you take one of our tanks, we're going to get one of your tanks. Well, and here we go. It's also like Noah's Ark, 2 by 2. But look at this. Rolling right by is Esther Walker. She's dynamite. It's going to come back together because that's right. There you go. Hayes, Rachel Hayes is back. Okay, well, it's really interesting racing going on here.
And
They
then
hit
Gill
the
and
tunnel
Paulette
now. They'll
still
make it.
off the front, just keeping it steady. 3-7 now, 159 beats per minute. Not digging too deep. They're gonna back off. Anna Rogers gonna slow it down. A little bit of control of the pack. It doesn't look like Esther's too interested either. They haven't actually brought this back. It's gonna continue to go out now at this point because they. Oh, yeah, I think it's gonna.
It's coming back, actually. Yeah, I have a feeling that this. So, you are looking
Hayes,
at
4-2
7 women, pretty evenly matched out here. Well, let's see what happens in the next K, Nathan. Isn't this fun? I just love it.
Though. Look, she's blocking. She's literally blocking. Like, it went to a little bit of a kick to see if she could get a gap and said, no, if I can't just go across, she went ahead and just shut it down. As Gill continues on at 4.9 watts per kilogram now. I mean, that's got to get closed down or they're going to continue. They went to 2.8. Look at this. Look at the difference in speed. 37, 43. That's 5 kilometers per hour now. Really interesting tactics being played out here in the women's race.
It goes back and forth. I still believe that this group does rejoin, but we'll see here. I would have to say Anna Rogers, Haley Gill, to me, on paper, these are 2 of the strongest riders in the community right now. I was going to say earlier, if you look around and you see that Haley Gill is in the group that you're in, everything will be okay. You know that eventually you'll see the front again because Haley certainly will. Well, I maybe you're right, Nathan, because Haley Gill has taken this entire pole. Now, pole out has been sitting on the entire last 2 minutes.
My goal in that chase group would have been to allow it to go out a little bit. And if I have, look, see Anna Rogers, exactly, especially on this climb, this is where you can break everybody. You can get a little bit of a gap between you and the other riders because if they can't match a
now she's not bringing the whole group.
Sit on. Exactly. Yep. So you let it go out a little bit so that you have some distance to work with so that only 1 or 2 riders might be able to come. Hayes now struggling to hold on. And this is how they're going to try and break SDBC. They've got 2 riders up front. Now 2 riders from SDBC are off the back. Troyer's stuck in the middle, kind of sandwiched. She's not going to chase. They're going to leave it to Walker and Hayes to close this down now. Looks like Walker's going to make it happen. They might be able to jettison Hayes. No, Hayes jumps on the Troyer's wheel. Or, excuse me, on the Crow's wheel. Interesting to see. It looks like They're going to bring this back. And Rogers, she tried to make something happen with Crone right on the wheel there, but unable to do so. All back together. 4 seconds. And now it's going to reset. And the two up front, they're just going to soldier on, I think.
Well, and I still think that they get caught too here. This group's now kind of picking up some momentum. We got a long ways to go here. We're still at 14K of racing remaining. They're really testing each other.
They are. It's so interesting to see. I'm loving how they're playing these games here. Backing in with the men, though, they're heading into their second sprint. Let's go ahead and see if we got a couple of the points to see how it played out the first time around, and we do. The situation is John Heinlein. You were right. First across the line, fastest for the segment there. Cam O'Reilly actually ended up with second, as you see that 9 points, but he was definitely not the fastest for the segment time there. John Vanderven there actually taking that down. And Jeffrey Jimenez there from Costa Rica team. That's the situation currently out on course for the points. Ryan Ivany now trying to give it a little bit of kick here out of Canada. AVRT to the front. It's going to be Eugene Chan there as well from Penn Velo. Watch out for Cam O'Reilly. Very cagey rider, very smart rider. Only putting out 5.4, now 7.5. Using that power up. What's interesting to me is when they're using it. Personally, I want to see riders throw orange numbers down a little bit earlier, and then, or even like maybe 8-9 watts per kilogram, but not everything they got, and then use it through the cobbles. I'm not sure that they know that the cobbles through here actually also benefit from the steamroller. If you timed it on the second half or even the last quarter of that dirt, you could get it all the way through the cobbles and then be launching yourself with speed through this section.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds once you deploy the power-up that you have it. When was that introduced, Nathan? I've never seen a race using it before.
I believe that was about 9 months. I want to say actually a year ago.
Okay.
I want to say a year ago. Well, about a year ago. Yep. Cam O'Reilly now. Will he do it again? 11 watts per kilogram. I think he's going to get caught at the line. Heinlein. Heinlein is so sneaky. Did you see how he did that? He was down to 5 watts per kilogram at one point. Wow.
That's how, I mean,
he knows how to play.
You can't go faster. Yeah, absolutely. This guy definitely is a Zwift master out here. Talking about John Heinlein here, who's in this front group on the Oh My God, They Killed Kenny team. As the guys are just about, well, taking another look here.
I want to see how he did this. I mean, that was next level. Look at that, 5 watts per kilogram. And then boom. I mean, that was how I'm just amazed at his ability to play through this pack here at this point. 9-10 watts per kilogram. Look at his positioning as well. Where is he at? You know, I was talking to a couple of the guys in the community actually, and somebody was playing exactly at this new pack dynamic. He's at like 7th, 8th wheel, and you're really able to use the riders a little bit more, I think. And if you sprint from 200 meters, 150 meters from 5th or 6th wheel, I think you get a lot more out of it now than you used to. Because look, 7.3, and he's still moving forward. Now one last kick, 5.0, and then bam, over the top. 11.2.
That really replicates in real life sprinting, the ability to surf the fastest riders on the front and hit the front at 25 meters to go. That's perfectly done. And I have a feeling that our engineers have done some good work at Zwift HQ.
Yeah, 100%. Really cool to see. Absolutely loving the new dynamics there. Heinlein, what a kick from him. Very cagey rider. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. Grabbing some points. And maybe even taking fastest across the line because, you know, for that segment, fastest for the segment, because if you are moving through the pack from that 360 meters to go, which is where that green little marker on the road is, and then you move through the whole pack and then take the sprint, you've been a lot faster, obviously, than anybody who was on the front just pulling through. So I think that's how he's grabbing all those points and also taking the sprints at the end. So, oh my God, they killed Kenny. They're really on it today.
The greatest double dip in endurance sports. If you can win the fastest through the segment and the fastest at the line on the same sprint, you are living large. And John Heinlein, the third, is certainly the closest that we've seen to that on the Oh My God, They Killed Kenny team in our greatly reduced front group. And it looks like it might be reduced by one more as Trill is going to fight. There's nothing, if you aren't out here on this platform, to understand how hard it is as a solo rider to try to close down a 5-second gap on a motivated front group. Aye. Not fun to
Ryan
do.
McGee making jokes out here, looking for dad jokes from Dirt. He doesn't think they're living up to their name. And Bane says that they can't talk from Rampage here. Oh, great. Now here we go. Wisnowski has started. And there, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot there, Freds. The Penguins making it happen in chat here. Now a little bit of attack, though. Here comes O'Reilly again. He's getting sick of getting beaten these sprints. Actually, it's going to be Bradbury now on the go. Megan Bradbury, it looks like, cheering on the man from Oh My God That Killed Kenny. He's got that power up here, that steamroller, pulling along at 47 kilometers per hour. Cam O'Reilly, AVRT, only 41. Look at the difference in speed. Immediately opens up a 2-second gap almost. But O'Reilly looks like he's very interested in keeping everything together, because this is not an attack. This is just pulling the group along, interesting enough. Bradbury, though, 6.3 on the front, as you can see, 174 beats per minute. We are heading into lap number 2 in just a moment here.
Yeah.
A lap and a half to go, and they settle down the front. 3 watts per kilogram versus 6. That's going to go out a little bit. The downhill, though, is going to bring some time back pretty quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately, physics are not your friend if you're a solo rider off the front. Is that wolf pack? Yeah, I mean, you'd even say kind of doing a little bit of herding when you look at Bradbury out there. As opening up now, a little bit of a gap. We're through the middle part of the race. Again, 38K. Well, make it 39K of racing, to tell you the truth, before this one is done and dusted out here. This has been the story of the day. Solo attacks opening up a marginal advantage. We've seen a couple of these moves throughout the day go over 10 seconds. Riders have come close. And again, we've got another sprint for bonus points before we move into finale mode out here. Hard to do this right now, dangling off the front.
Yeah, this is this is quite the effort here coming from Bradbury. I'm going to see if I can find some information on Bradbury as a newer rider to my commentary here. Christopher Bradbury from Oh My God They Killed Kenny. I've commentated on Oh My God They Killed Kenny before, but it does look like level 41 is Zwifter out of Canada. He's got a solid FTP of that 323. I think he does want to get away because 11.9 is the 786 watts. There's going to be some riders in there that can hold well over 1,000, though, 415 seconds. So he's just looking to try and get away. It looks like he is going to get shut down, though, as it does look like he's a pickup as well. I don't believe he raced in the first week of the WTRL. Oh, no, he did. Excuse me. He took 39th place. There's just did a lot of racing between, actually. He raced through Watopia Stage 3 as well as the KISS Racing Series Americas over the weekend. So, but no, Zwift Racing League last week was definitely on the menu for him with 39th place. So a little bit of a go there from Christopher. And he's got Megan.
Stretch the legs.
Chatting away and cheering him on in the YouTube chat. Good to see that. Always love the fans hanging out.
As you start looking through the list of riders in this group, some familiar names. We'll get to know a lot more about them as we make our way through season 3. We're going to find out who the fastest men are, just raw watts out there. Michael Sweet still in the group. Alto Velo is that, it's the team that, well, I guess you could say Tibco. It's that Northern California Bay Area, Palo Alto. Such a beautiful part of the country, and a lot of smart, well-heeled folks who love their bike racing and riding on that squad. I love what they're about. That's the team of Cam O'Reilly.
Looking toward the front now, it does look like on the attack again, Pete Mogg from Oh My God They Killed Kenny. He's been super aggressor out here today.
They have a plan. There's something going on with, yeah. Well, they've kept the speed high. That's one thing for sure. So, you know, if that's the tactic, they've been successful. Ivany, there's a name that pops up for the Freds AF team. And another very talented rider in this field. Sosnowski as well. So starting to see the names that we learned through season 2. Sosnowski is a very fast finisher, Nathan. So they hit the reset button now in this group over and over. If you've made it to this point, you've already proved your legitimacy. It's been quite a slugfest to get to 26K, 12K to go. And I think we're going to see Anna Rogers and company are down to about 7K to go in the ladies' case. And what have we got here? Esther Walker. Is this the Tete de la Corsa? Well, it isn't, because I think they're chasing Haley Gill. And everybody's chasing, or no, excuse me. This is the front of the bike race, isn't it?
No, Polat and Gill, they stayed
Polat,
away. They
there we
actually
are.
opened up that 37 seconds at this point. Polat now giving a little bit of kick. It looks like, no, Gill going to take it down, excuse me. And then Crone and the rest are left for the scraps.
Wow, that is a huge gap. 34
really
seconds. Boy, we leave them alone, Nathan, for a couple of minutes, and look what they do.
They just
like leaving a raccoon in your house, right? Just unbelievable damage.
And now I want to speak to Esther really trying to do something here for the team. And it looks like she's continuing to just 1-2 punch over and over again. Crone now trying to come over the top. She may suffer for this, though. Going to grab onto the wheel. I think Walker just wants to make it fast. Look at that. She wanted
those points.
Crone, 0 watts per kilogram. Walker just continues on and says, hang on to my wheel if you can. I think she wants to break this pack and at least race for third at this point and get away. I don't think she wants a sprint situation, but look, Anna Rogers, she don't care. Over the top for Vixen. Oh, a drafting
Honey
power.
Badger don't care. Anna Rogers don't care. There you go. All right. So that drafting power, she must be just dumping that. Doesn't want it. Doesn't need it.
I think she was trying to go to Rogers' wheel and it just walked away from her. I think the speed was just too high. I think she was actually trying to hang on.
So that basically increases your draft by 50%, but if you're not getting any draft, 0 times anything is still 0. Exactly. So just as she makes the catch.
She popped it just as Rogers went by, but she didn't have the...
That couldn't have gone worse.
Yeah, I don't think she understood the kind of speed Rogers was coming through with, and it just did nothing for her here. And now she's going to sit in, get a little recovery now, and Rogers now, 172. It's not like anybody's in a good spot at this point. 182.
No.
They're all just suffering. Serious suffering happening out here. And look at Hayes here, Rachel Hayes.
Don't show Anna Russell that video, though, or you'll end up on her YouTube show on how not to use a power-up. So
this
taking
is
a look
Velocity
at this, that's
Vixen
going to be
1-2
Group
versus
2
SDVC
out on course
here.
right now, chasing.
Yeah.
The front group here, Polat and Gill, are gone. They're not coming back today. They've got, right now, we're looking at really in the range of a little more than 5K to go. But with the advantage they have, the strength that they're showing, it's going to be a 2-woman show from this point on. So the points now, 50 points for the win, 40 for second out here. Pretty significant difference, 10 points between the win and second. So they should really be fighting for this.
Now, Haley Gill, definitely a name I know, who is extremely strong. We've seen her a lot of times.
So taking a look here, again, these two now have got a large enough gap that I would imagine that they'll start rotating here and try to share the workload at this point.
Yeah, I think for Gill here, level 33 Zwifter, very, very experienced. Whole lot. Now, though, this is a newer rider to all this, and she's level 28 Zwifter. I haven't seen her a whole lot, though, out on the racing scene. You know, prior to this, she did do Tour de Boudica this year. Interesting enough, 31, 21, and a 5th place in the TTT. So she's got a good... I mean, 5th place in Tour de Boudica is no joke. But when it comes to a sprint, though... Right, it looks like in the more road race, sprinty, scratch race type situations, she hasn't really been able to make something happen. But because she's gotten herself into this situation where it's gotten away, now she can really show where she shines, I think. Because if she can break someone, it looks like she can really ride away at a high speed. Gill, though, saying, no, I've got something as well here, trying to make a little bit of a kick. Very evenly matched riders, actually. I'm looking here. I'm seeing... when it comes to the FTPs, Gill a little bit stronger. Neither of them with an amazing sprint. But Polat, no sprint at all from what I can see, actually. But she's got a solid 5 minutes. So a 5-minute kick here from Polat. And maybe that, what's interesting is that difference between her 5 and her 20, because it's a pretty big difference. it might be just the fact that she hasn't had the opportunity to just try and walk
She
away
might
from
never
somebody.
have.
Exactly, for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that, yeah, she might put up a number that's 100 watts higher than what we have right now on her registered data. I mean, there's nothing like what a little bit of adrenaline and competition will do to your FTP or any of your, your 15-second power, certainly.
Yeah, so this will be interesting to see. We've really got a heads-up battle here between these two, and it's going to be a really cagey ride. All the pressure is on at this point. You can really have an amazing ride, too, in a situation like this when it's for the team, you know.
Now, yeah, if you're just looking on paper, Haley Gill wins this sprint. If they did it 100 times, Haley Gill wins 97 of them. But I'm 100% with you, Nathan, as far as I don't think that the data tells the whole story here.
Yeah, agreed.
If I'm Haley Gill, I would
Totally
be
agreed.
very wary. I would not let that data make me overconfident.
Yeah, I just don't think that Barrel Pullet has had the opportunity as well to really show herself as of yet.
Agreed.
And I do think that she's starting to become a stronger and stronger rider through Zwift Racing, from what I can see here in the data as well. So, from a coach's eye, I'm kind of like, this rider's getting serious. She's showing up for her second season here. She did do a lot of WTRL TTTs in the past, so we'll see what she can do here. Maybe even has learned a lot in this past year or so of racing, because she did start racing actually she's been out here racing, it looks like, since April of 2020, right when everybody wasn't getting outside anymore. So been using Zwift for a little while here for some of this, but we'll see now she's on this team with SDBC. I wonder how long she's been riding with these riders. If she's hanging out with them in real life, or if this was a pickup out on the platform. I'd love to know in chat if anybody knows.
Almost assuredly, she rides with them in real life. I think the IRL aspect of San Diego Bicycle Club is really, really solid. 54 kilo, super lightweight rider. I'm sure that you'd see her on Mount Palomar outside of San Diego, flying away from the group. You don't see many 54 kilogram sprinters in this world.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Rachel Hayes now, teammate, Troyer, all back together. This was split up just a little while ago, so they were able to figure out how to get this back together. I thought that Anna Rogers was going to just keep the pressure on, but it looks like they were able to weld it back together here. Walker and Hayes are going to have their work cut out for them up against Crone, Rogers, and Troyer.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, but when we left that group, they were just a couple seconds off the front, Gill and Polot, and I said that they would definitely come back.
7, 8 seconds. It was like 7 or 8 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And I was sure that they would be caught. Right. Yeah. And now they're coming up on, they could be a minute ahead by the time they go to the line.
Yeah,
there
a little bit of a
back
gap
with our
now
2
at this
liters.
point. A little bit of a gap, that's for sure at this point, and it's not going to be coming back at all. Now, we are heading into the final kick for the men. I'm just going to head over to them very quickly while they do this. As those ladies, I think they're going to make their way to the 1K. It's going to be a minute or two, so we can watch this sprint open up here for Lawrence and Harper from Dulce Vita. Craig Northway there as well from OTR. He's been doing a great job DSing on Thursday nights. Now he's going to put some watts down, though, for the team, as it looks like for OTR. 8.4. OTR also with Duncan there. Kellison made it back, and now he's at the front.
And now he's active.
Brian Kellison, what a move here. Harper Dose now as well. What's going on with Brian Ivany there? The Freds and the Penguin Heads to the front of the bike race as well. Ivany now 166 beats per minute. Where's Heinlein? He's taken out every sprint so far. Is Heinlein going to make it a 3-4-3? Not seeing him, though. He's been very cheeky about it, though, and very smart. Vanderveen now. Dirt Riot. Schaefer. Very strong rider. Always watch out for Patrick as the German now leads it out. Here comes Pen Velo Chan. Is he going to get his fight? Look at Heinlein. He comes out of nowhere. Where was this guy? I didn't even see him, and boom,
Houdini
takes it down. Oh, my.
The magician. I mean, you literally can't find him until the last 15K, and he pops out, and he's done it over and over. Unbelievable riding from John Heinlein out here today. Nathan, nice job here. So we get to see the men's final bonus sprint. We'll be back with the men's peloton as they're into their finale now, just the front end of it. Well, they're deep, deep into it now as we're coming up on a little more than 1K to go. These are your two leaders, Beryl Polat and Haley Gill. So the rider from Turkey, I believe, now living in Southern California, going up against the Canadian here in British Columbia, Haley Gill.
Just moving back to Troyer here real quickly. There were a couple of attacks leaving Ocean Boulevard. Did break things up. Esther Walker is off the back and Hayes as well. It looks like Velocity Vixen with a little bit of TTT to the line. SDBC going to have to make something happen, but they have pulled it up at the front. She's pulling, though, into the sprinter sitting on the wheel. That's a tough one. What do you do? Because at this point, she doesn't have to mind. 30 seconds, it's not coming back. She needs to sit on the wheel at this point and allow Haley Gill to pull her to the line. Looks like she's making that happen. And it also is going to come down to what kind of power up do they have.
She's trying here.
I think
she's slowing down.
I think I saw Pullet use a steamroller. I'm not positive. Gill now, look at her, 1.9, really playing the games. Who's going to open up first?
It's a passive-aggressive slugfest right now because no one wants to lead this one out. And Haley Gill's going to go. So, all right, the fuse has been lit. Let's see if Polat can get on that wheel. She's trying.
She's doing it. She might do it. She's sitting on the wheel. Haley Gill tries to come through.
She's coming.
Gill's got 11. She's got 11. She's going to hold on to the line. Gill fades. Will Polat do it?
She got to read.
Oh, my gosh. One last. No. Gill holds on. It was right to the line. What an effort. But no, it was not to be. Oh, man. What an effort there. Right to the line from Pullet. Gill just
she did a great job.
On. Really did. I thought she had it. I really thought that she had it.
She played her cards right. Hey, Beryl Polat, that was awesome. Haley Gill wins, but you showed us you've got a great brain for racing. So that's going to be.
I mean, that was very impressive, actually. From any Zwift standpoint, through the years, that was, one of the best, I've seen as far as being able to
impressed me
and know where to be, how to be there, and able to get the most out of the
Haley Gill start the sprint.
Yep.
Sorry,
right on the wheel.
You, Nathan.
No, you're fine. It's 100% true. 100% true. Law now, though. STBC, no, Audi may be able to get something out of this. Now they're trying to come across. Looks like Claire Law. Wow.
Nadler got it.
Nadler's off the back
Sprint.
here.
Oh, I'm sorry there. That's Claire Law getting it there.
Audi goes 1-2 in this sprint. Nice job by them as they make their way to the line. Let's go ahead and jump on in with the boys as they're going to be finishing up their maybe get an attack coming on through here because this would be the section to do it. I was seeing a little bit of chatter about what Osborne did earlier today. Dirt now off the front. They were definitely watching the Premier Division. And did they get some motivation from that? It's pretty...
Lawrence Monks.
It's not a huge group.
It
isn't a massive group. It is a group that's going to be hard to get away from, but it isn't impossible here. Orsini, now Harper. And look at this. Is that going to be Shelton? Shelton says enough is enough. He was just he was just getting rid of his steamroller.
I don't need this steamroller thing.
What am I going to do with that? Callison calls it quits, giving up the ghost. Enough is enough for him as well. And McGee, the Penguins on the back now. I need some Madagascar penguin memes in here. Come on now, chat. And
the Penguins are also known as Fred AF. That's correct, right?
Yeah. Well, they have the penguin emoji. That's why I was saying that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you. It's next level, what we're talking about here. All right. So, Nathan, these guys, the real surge comes as you hit the riser coming out of the tube here.
How many riders are on this team? I wonder if they're doing that on purpose because I think there's 4 penguins in the Madagascar. Are these guys all dads too? I wonder if they've watched some of these.
Are they trying to confuse us? Yep.
I'm gonna name each one of them one of those pink. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Well,
penguins of Madagascar. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Right on.
It was about, what, 10 years ago that movie came out?
And then
So
they just kept making more and more
very popular.
renditions of it. Yeah.
Yeah, until unicorns came along, penguins were much more
Announcing,
popular. All
what
right.
else could you announce to the entirety of the pack? Like just yell it across. Watch out, man! Nobody even hear you traveling at this kind of pace, right? And Peter Mogg saying, "Quiet now. He's not going anywhere." Bradbury, we'll see if he can make it happen. That's the call out here. As watch Northway. They're all telling each other to watch. I love how these guys have so much infighting a little bit here. You know, these jokes across the board with all of them. Lots of chatter. OTR still
I'm
lots
amazed
involved.
that they
10
can
velos
communicate
here.
this much.
OMG still here as well. Well, I mean, they probably got a lot of these guys are streaming. They got a lot of these Twitch setups, and you just have a keyboard in front of you with a desk that's high enough. The old school setup.
Well, John Heinlein, after everything we've seen, how do you beat this guy? I mean, he's been so crafty, sitting right in the sweet spot right now, Nathan. He's making less watts than anyone in this group. That's how he does it. He just doesn't let his nose touch the wind until the last 10 meters.
Yeah, it's good. Good point there, Dave. Heinlein has been very strong for OMG. Will OMG be able to pull anything off here across the line is going to be the question, because we do have the
Ivany says no.
situation. OMG,
Fred AF, Ivany.
Love his.
Yeah.
Love Peter. We don't. Gosh, this guy here. Now it is going to be McGee though on the
McGee.
kick. And they got to do
So
something.
he's gonna.
They really do. They're in 7th place with 14 points. So Dirty Rascals right and Round the Rivet Hayes. Let's see what they can pull off here, because I think it was a TT situation actually, rather than what they might be able to show. But they could prove me wrong. They're gonna yell at me on Thursday for that one.
Well, this is a two-pronged technique here. One, there's always the chance that McGee's got it in the tank today to hold on for the win, but it also puts the other teams under pressure and allows your other sprinters to sit on the chase and try to surf their way to the front of the group for the win here. So nice first play here by Fred AF and McGee. Ryan McGee here, opening up 2-second gap, about a K to go.
Yeah, McGee now. Flanagan opening up, though, 9 watts per kilogram. As you can see, only 2 seconds. McGee's not going anywhere with this.
Look at
one.
this. Yeah.
Forcing dirt, though, coming across.
Flanagan over the
dirt.
top.
These guys are
Here we go.
Current leaders, too. So this is a danger move.
I think they're
going
gonna
to
show us why.
Teams. Yeah, exactly here. Osmane now, Dirt now.
He's
also
gone.
sitting in. And look at this. Look at how Dirt is sitting in with Vanderveen. And he had some solid sprints there as well. Oh, my God, they killed Kennedy. Where is Heinlein? He's gone. What, they're not even responding. What is happening here? Flanagan has got a gap here. 8.2 watts per kilogram in 4 seconds. He's just upset the whole crowd. There's not enough room at 4 seconds. 10 watts per kilogram. Northway, 100
There's
meters.
the finish.
Here comes Heinlein, 14 watts per kilogram. Oh, my gosh. Is it going to start? No, there's no way.
They won't get him. That's
Flanagan.
it. Heinlein.
Flanagan makes a ham, and Heinlein now Ivany. Wow, what a move from Ivany to hold on there. But I mean,
So
that
here's a
was
great
just
point.
an upset. I mean, like,
Well-
just right off the front. See you later, guys. I mean, like,
And that's why, Nathan, big teams, that's why they have to control those kind of moves, right? Because Heinlein clearly was the best sprinter. But if he had covered that, he wouldn't have been able to win the race. So perfect tactical play. I love this sport. Esports bringing out the best in racing today. This will go down as one of the greatest days that we've had, just all the way from Premier League, all the different divisions of racing. Every race has been an absolute blast to watch.
where was, oh my God, they killed Kenny. That was 100% on them. And we're looking at second place here with John Heinlein. Solid result for him, but I mean,
He needed more help.
It was his to lose. And the team, now, it was amazing counterattack coming from Flanagan. The moment, I mean, and this is not a move I would usually make. This is not a move that I would make. I don't think of making this move. Like, honestly, I'm not cagey enough road racer, to be honest. But if we look at the replay here, as the moment McGee is caught, boom, Flanagan over the top, 700 watts.
That's your perfect counterattack right there. That is a textbook counterattack.
He doesn't actually go into 15 either. It's not like everything you got, right? He goes into 11 watts per kilogram, backs off to what he can hold, which is 7 or 8, 53,
So-
54 from the pack here. For the
You know how
speed.
brilliant
He's holding
this was?
57. This is
Because-
amazing.
So what he did was went hard enough that he got a gap, but didn't get them to overreact to it and slam him back. And it was a 2-second window there where they decided that this wasn't that dangerous, and that was the moment they lost the race. This was what an interesting finish.
And you know, oh my God, they killed Kenny. They don't have anybody else in that front group really.
No
in
helpers.
that top 10.
You
There's
need
no
a
helpers
helper.
to bring it back.
Yeah.
And was everybody racing for themselves, perhaps, too? That could be it. Or, you know, I'm not sure. But
Didn't
that
have
ended
the
up losing
legs.
The race.
There's a-
Yeah, that might have been it as well. As we look at the finish here, Heinlein, Ivany, Vanderveen, they're from the dirt team, also rounding out the top 4. Schaefer coming across the line. Behind him, Duncan OTR. So OTR not getting the best result there. They might be overtaken by some of the other teams. We'll have to take a look at the situation, though, when it comes to the result of just a moment. But great little kick there to the line there. Flanagan, what a move there coming from the dirt team. That was really impressive. Super impressive.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it. And certainly, I mean, I think with about a K to go, I said that John Heinlein was the sprinter to beat. That actually was true. How do you do that? Jump them early. Great job out there by Flanagan. Bike racing is a beautiful sport.
I'm going to wait on a few of the results here. I'm seeing something. I think we do need to wait just a little bit. They're not quite ready yet for the women's or the men's. As we do wait for that, everybody, the next thing that is up on the Zwift Community Live broadcast, of course, as we always do on Thursdays. Number 104, San Sequoias. Me and Dave will be on that. Make sure to sign up by tomorrow night if you haven't done so already. Does close down. I believe it is 6 p.m. UK, 12 noon. Excuse me, 1 p.m. CST and 7 p.m. UK. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been a long day of broadcasts. I'm looking through the results here, waiting, and as they are getting updated, I just need to be careful. We can't be showing anything that's not correct, as we had a couple of struggles throughout the day on that. A couple of reloads. But also World of Zwift, obviously, coming out each and every week. You haven't checked that out yet, head on over there. If you haven't watched Premier Division or the rest of the broadcasts throughout the day here in the Community League, they're all over on the ZCL page. And I think I'm going to point you on over to WTRL. Long day. Head on over to WTRL.racing for results. You can go on back, obviously, and watch the replays. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we will see you Thursday as well. And also a big shout out to WTRL. They're doing the Running League launching this week. Yeah. Very, very awesome the things that they're doing there. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday. WTRL TTT. As always, everybody, right on.